Welcome to Layers. This is our second episode, and today we're talking about something that feels very personal and very current for the both of us. That is being unemployed in the design industry. And this is not gonna be an episode from a perspective of people who figured it all out, but it's more like a real conversation about survival, adapting,
Surviving Berlin winter while unemployed.
best, worst experience ever. And then what we learn from this phase of our life. So, do you want to start and share what your experience has been like?
Sure. Okay, so as we mentioned, last week we graduated in October, and I think after graduation I had something to look forward because I had this plane to Australia plan where I was for a month away, and then it was Christmas, so I went back home in Italy. And so when I actively started looking for jobs and applying for jobs, not only looking but applying actively, it was January, I think. So now it's beginning of March, so 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's not a long time.
It's not a long time, but I think what was important is the living the expectation versus the reality. Because in my expectations, I already had a job, but the reality is you have to start actively looking at jobs, and it's the hardest part. Because it's not only about finding a job, it's about finding a studio or a company that is aligned to your aesthetic, to your mindset on how you work. So maybe with the same mindset and perspective on how they see design at first. Because that would be the dream, right? Finding something or a studio that really aligns. Because
maybe, yeah. Right now, probably we will compromise a little bit, seeing how it's going. I mean, I'm compromising.
No, me too. I definitely am, because at a certain point, it's a little bit exhausting. I think the worst part for me is the rejections, being rejected by companies, or not even. I think there's something that is worse, which is the silence. Because they have so many applicants, there is so much competition around right now that they don't even take the time to respond to everyone. But the silence is really like what gets me, because you, of course, if they don't say anything, it's a no, but you never know, so you're not unsure.
The thing is that I think the studio they receive a lot of emails about like applications and stuff, so they usually like specifically say in their website like, yeah, don't worry if we're not replying, but we are receiving a lot of emails, so don't take it personally if we're not replying, which is easier to say than actually do it.
I think you have to learn not to take it personally. But for someone like me, I take everything personally. Even if you just make a comment, I'm like, ooh, was it intended to me or something? So I take it personally and I overthink it. So yes, not to take it personally, because the competition, and there are so many talented people right now. I mean, we were 28 people graduated in October with us. So that's a lot of people that are looking for jobs.
Great.
Yeah, the level of our uni in our class was really high. So reckon it's difficult to navigate it. But I think what is important, at least for me, it's not to get in this down phase, which I think a lot of people that don't immediately find a job go through. This dark phase and this spiral of negativity, which I'm trying to get myself out of.
I think it's inevitable. I think it's inevitable. You can find ways to actually try to be mentally stable, but at one point, I think it's inevitable. I mean, at least for me.
I think.
But you can
push.
You can
yourself.
push, you can push yourself and you can do stuff to feel productive. And like what we are doing, I think it's a great way that if it doesn't work, you can still put it in your CV portfolio, and like to show that you're not actually waiting with your hands in your pocket and doing nothing, just like applying for jobs. So, but you're actually trying to stay creative. And
yeah, I think this is very important to me, for example, because I need to stay active, and active meaning also like kind of improve my qualities that are not just strictly related to design, but fields that are connected to design as well.
this is amazing.
I reckon it's good because then you can also put new qualities in your CVs, or that's why I'm doing a bunch of workshops that are different. I did a very interesting and cool one with Studio Linne a couple of weeks ago. And it was about floristry because they have a studio and they do bouquet but also set design for malls, or they even did like this exhibition for the fashion week with all flowers. And I think they are very nice people, very good at explaining, and it was just so nice to put myself and stay active. I think staying active is also what gets you out of this dark phase and black hole that people go into, because if you're just there, you have a lot of time when you're unemployed.
That reminds me that we did also we did with
The beaded bags.
A workshop about beaded bags. It was a random thing that we did. But
I was so happy.
So nice, and then we started doing our own pieces.
Yeah, because you kind of learn the techniques, and then if you know how to do things, you have more qualities, and you kind of learn how to do the things yourself. So we started with the beaded bags, but for example, I'm doing keychains, I'm doing like some jewelry with the same technique of the beaded bags. So I reckon it's very important to keep active, keep yourself updated even with new techniques. And I don't know, for me it's very important to have my hands on things instead of just being at home.
Now it's like it's more like a hobby, a new skill that you will learn.
Yeah.
But I think it could also become like a side hustle. So it's very important to stay active, try to learn new things. It's the right time to do that. You have free time.
You have a lot of time.
You have a lot of time.
You have a lot of time, and also it's to keep your mind positive, at least for me. Like if you're not doing anything, your mind just gets dark spaces. But if you're keep busy and you're doing things even with other people, you even this the lab, the Laers lab, like it keeps you going, because it's also something that infinite goal that that I have and that I want to pursue. So you push yourself more. And I think it's very important in this phase of your life, which is the very transitioning, because at the end we're transitioning from being students to actual the real world in a way. So it's important not to be sad about things right now. It's okay, but to get yourself out. You're the only person who can get yourself out of things.
It's a period where you have anxiety about things, but you have mixed feelings. Like I feel anxiety, but also like excitement.
Yeah.
So it's you have to stay in the excitement part and not like go to the anxiety and overthinking and the dark spaces, whatever.
Dark spaces. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's just keeping yourself busy, and now it's the time to do things that you maybe wouldn't do when you have a job, because when you have a job, you have a routine, you have maybe a schedule, you're more tired as well. So after work, probably you wouldn't go home. I mean, there are people who do that go out of work and still work on their own things. But maybe you're more tired, you want to relax or go out with your friends and have a drink. So it's very important. Now it's a phase of creation, I would say. transitioning phase of creation.
Explore things, learn new things.
And another thing that is important to do now, but also always, it's a very important thing I reckon, is the importance of connections and building the right connection, networking a lot.
It's really important, especially like right now with the job market. It's easier to get a job through connection that actually like you alone reaching out to studios. Because also like there's a lot of competition, and if someone can like actually say to the studio, okay, I know this person, she's great, so maybe you could have a look at her portfolio, whatever, you can have a little like chat. It's helpful. It's really like
I reckon it's also how unfortunately the word works on through, oh, I know this person, I would recommend this to you, which we do also for basic things that are not related to the job or work environment. Like if I see something that you might like, I might come to you and be like, oh, you should check this out. And the same thing works with networking for industries. Because that's also how a lot of our classmates found a job after uni, because the recommendations of professors, and now they have jobs thanks to these connections.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
It's not the moment to be shy. I think
No.
You have to go for it and say, fuck it, I don't care what these people are gonna think, and just try. Because trying never killed anyone at the end of the day.
No, at least like you don't have any like regrets of doing nothing. Like, oh no, I did nothing, I stayed there, I didn't even ask because I was afraid of
You're not even losing anything just by asking at the end. Like, what am I losing if I come to you and ask for an opinion, or if I ask if you're looking for someone? I'm not losing anything, and they're definitely not losing anything either.
No,
so
they could just like, okay, now I don't have time. Maybe like we'll see. But then I also think it's really, really important network, not just like for like, finding a job, but also to receive feedbacks. You have to talk to designer to actually understand, especially about your portfolio, which is basically your identity card.
I like that.
It is. It's the first thing that you show, like it shows your interests, your strength, how you think. So it's basically that. But I think it's really important to actually like go to designers and ask what they think about that, so you can understand if everything is clear, what is strong, and if you're if you're communicating your value in the best way possible. So I think, yeah, especially at our early stages of the career, it's fundamental to the.
Yeah, I think the portfolio is a very, very interesting topic, which is because, as Sophie just said, it's our identity card. And it's important to know what to put in and also show at best your skills, because at the end your portfolio shows your identity, personality, your strength, what you are able to do and communicate. So it's something very personal. Even the feedbacks you might receive though are very personal, depending also on the studio and on the person.
You have to learn what to take and what to leave there, but
I feel like we're working so much on our portfolios, but sometimes studios don't even look at them. They look at them if they're interested in your CV, and then they move on to that. But a lot of times you feel like you're working a lot and you're tailoring the portfolio, because at the end it's a lot of work doing a portfolio.
Yeah, I think I have 4 different portfolios at least, like, because I prepared them based on different kind of studios and what they're focusing on. So yeah, the most important thing is to tailor it specifically for the studio. But there are a lot of tips about the portfolio, like, that you have to follow. But one is quality over quantity, for sure. like choose the strongest project that you have, and maybe it could be like 5 or 6, so
I
that
think
the pages.
six is a good amount of projects.
Yeah, but the problem is that you have to stick like to max 30 pages, not more. So it also depends on what kind of project that you have, because for example, I have 2 of my like most important projects that are my thesis project, which are longer than the other one. So for example, I have 4 projects.
That's why I really like, that's a tip for everyone. Since most of us use the Adobe package, Adobe offers the opportunity to create your portfolio via website. So you have different templates and stuff, and then you can personalize it the way you
That's
want.
amazing.
And I think that's very nice because then you can show a lot of different projects and show maybe more different techniques. Because like the portfolio shows your identity, but you're also growing. I'm not the same person I was when I started doing design, but I do have a lot of interesting projects from my bachelor's, for example. And the techniques that I use in my bachelor's were probably different than the ones I'm using now, but they're still very interesting. And the projects are as well. Like the tiny house made from oil tanker tracks. Like, and the process of that project is also very nice. So it's nice to have a bigger an opportunity to show even more a broader view of your portfolio. Like you have the selected one, but then you have a broader view from very different projects, and then you have the dates. So you can see the title and the date, and then you have the cover image. So if you're also more attracted to something, you can just click on it.
Yeah,
check it out.
that's really useful, because like some studios ask for the PDF while others ask for the website, so you have both.
Yeah,
which is
I think
great.
it's really good. What I like about PDF is that you can personalize it a little bit more in a way rather than the website. Because for example, obviously, I don't have only interior design projects, and I tailor the portfolio based on the studio. But I did design like the covers for like, so that I have interior design and you have a little cover for that, and then you scroll and then you have product also kind of section like in a book.
Yeah.
And I did design the covers, and I think that's very nice because we did actually have a class about this portfolio and development, career development in my bachelor's. It was really useful.
It is.
Because my professor was like, bigger, because we were putting the things small, and he was like, bigger, I want to see what you did. It was very, I remember, I have the same, bigger. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they don't have to like zoom in
Yeah.
things. They should be able to look at it without like going blind.
No, exactly. But it was really funny, and that stick to me even now, to choose the images and put the nice, but that you can see the images or the diagrams clearly. And I think it was very useful because he was also mentioning how to do things better. He was really happy with what I did because we had to deliver the portfolio, but even the layout, like choosing the white spaces that are not empty spaces, it's
their structure.
They're very important. So it's really about like trying to figure it out, also your personality, and show yourself at best. And even like, for example, what he mentioned is that your last project should be an emotional connection or a very strong project, to have this emotional reminder, so that then when they finish looking, they have a very great last project they will keep in mind more than the ones that they scroll down. Because then they look and they're like, oh, okay, but that's the last one.
Yeah, I think like the most important ones are the first one and the last one.
Yeah.
And then in the middle are the one.
I mean, the first one is important because that's the first project. So if they're interested in that, they're more likely to scroll and have a look at all of them.
And with more attention to the portfolio. If the first one is great, they will put more attention to it and actually like look for it. Don't stop at it.
Yeah, I think it's important to show your versatility, the process, which is very important to show as well. How you think.
Very important. you don't have to put just like the beautiful renderings that you have, but show how you think. Even sketches that you think they're like terrible, you should put them, because like usually they're more interesting than the actual renderings.
Yeah.
And then you show how you think, what's your design process, and that's what actually like they're looking for.
Yeah, your potential, your personality, your identity.
To see how you think.
This is very interesting because the creative process is actually our next topic for next week, and we're very, very excited about it.
It's a super interesting topic. There are so many things.
It is. It's
so
very personal to me
theories.
as well, because I mean, it's something that you grow up with, studying design, this design process, and it was part of my first half of my thesis. So I did a lot of research on that. But it's super interesting to see also the different perspectives of people.
It is. So this episode was more about a little bit like how we're doing, our experience. The next one will be more technical, a little bit more technical.
Yeah, we want to do this a little bit of a mix. But I mean, this portfolio tips are also things that we collected through our experience. Like even the fact that it has to be easy to read, like without explaining too much. They have to be able to get it.
Text.
So the text obviously has to be there, but it can be like a paper of what to say. You have to create a visual language. Like for example, my portfolio looks like a booklet kind of, so that you always know what's gonna kind of happen, and you know the layout. You have like thinking about the layout and saying, oh, okay.
Also, that needs to be like very clear.
Yes. Like, oh, I put the title here, and it's not that in the next page the title is on the bottom, because if not, like they're like, is this two different portfolios? No, it's one.
And hierarchy in the picture that you choose is very important. Like hierarchy, white space, layout, visibility, whatever.
Yeah, the visual language itself. Try to show your personality and also who you are. It's a lot of work, because obviously a lot of times you have to change, not have to change, but you kind of tailor the old projects so that they are nicer looking and create this visual language throughout the whole portfolio. So it's all about energy and work doing that.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. But I think at the end it's about showing your potential and who you are becoming as a designer, which is also what they're interested about.
Yeah.
Why you and not others? Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Also, like it's important to show, like, why you? What is like that is different from the others? That it could be like your interest or how you think, or like a specific, maybe not like a specific technique, because then it has to be the same as the studio which you're applying for. So maybe that's tricky. Maybe your interest, what you like, how you think.
The way you're portraying yourself and you're presenting yourself is very important. How to communicate at best your projects, but also, pass me the term, but like sell yourself in a good way. I think I was always pretty strong at that, because my parents are both in sales and they have to work with people all day long. But my dad is also very Italian, very friendly, very stereotypical Italian, very outgoing, and I think I have that as well. I'm a very outgoing person, so that kind of comes easy to me to present myself and to show, oh, okay, this is my strength, this is why you should choose me. And obviously,
no, you're great at that. You're great at that. I'm not great. I had to learn how to fake it.
I mean, fake it, but I think at a certain point you will feel very confident about. I think you should, because your projects are very good.
I'm confident, but I think I overthink too much. So I'm at one point, I'm also not great with showing my emotions. So every time I am in an uncomfortable situation, I'm just like trying to keep everything in. I don't know how to say it, but like
inside, without
so
showing.
without showing, because I'm overthinking. I'm thinking of possible things to say, so how to, I don't know,
Different scenarios coming
different
by.
scenarios. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I actually like through experience have to learn how to fake it.
But that's good. That's also growth and showing growth, because you learn through what you experienced in the past how to be better. So that shows also personal development. That's great. Everyone.
Yay.
But it's true, it's good. And I mean, we did have a communication class, so also how to give feedback, how to
It was
receive
super
feedback.
helpful.
That was a very interesting class. I think people should take it despite what they're doing in life.
Yeah, how to
Just in
present
general.
your projects.
Yeah.
How you use your body while you're presenting. There are like specific rules, especially for the hands or the facial expression.
Yeah, which as Italians we
We're
use a
always
lot. I mean, I have to control my
But
face.
it's not actually like a bad thing. It's worse if you're keeping your hands in your pocket. No, it shows like you're hiding
Yeah,
something.
you shouldn't be like that.
Mhm.
You shouldn't have your hands in your pockets. You should
Yeah.
have your hands behind.
No, like you show your hands because it shows that you're friendly.
Yeah.
And people actually like think that you're open and you're saying the truth.
And you're explaining, so they're more attentive also to
Mhm.
what you're saying. Because if I'm like this the whole time and I don't like, it shows that I'm close and I'm not really happy. But if I say, oh, look at this, then you're also more active and actively involved in what I'm saying.
Also, facial expression. You should have facial expression.
Yeah, but
that I didn't. That's the thing. That's because I really hate presenting, and that's also like a thing that I have to learn. But yeah, they were saying to me that I look confident, but at the same time I wasn't like even like smiling, or I was like a wall. And it wasn't great because then the presentation looked a little bit like flat. So yeah, there are a lot of rules also about that.
I think it's important to be yourself and obviously know when to stay super serious as well in a presentation. While I present something that's very important, but to smile or to have a little joke or something is also good to keep the audience attentive at what you're saying and not bored in a way. Because then maybe you have an amazing project, but then you're just like flat, and then people don't really catch what you're saying.
No, it's one. You could also have a shitty project, but then you're presenting in like an amazing way, and then your project like
looks like it's the best thing in the world. I think it's really important to learn how to communicate. Maybe we should do an episode with our teacher. No, she was great, honestly. It was a mandatory class, or maybe it wasn't. Because Amit didn't have, like, they had that, but they had to choose.
No, I think it was for us. It was the other class, I don't remember, but I think it was mandatory.
I think it's very important, useful skill for everyone. If you have projects, but even in other contexts, I would say.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of presenting and also giving feedback without resulting, oh, she's a bitch. She told me this thing, but in a very awful way. She's not nice. But, just sandwich style.
A sandwich rule.
You start with something nice, then you say what you want to say and maybe a little bit meaner things.
And then you conclude with a compliment, something positive again.
Yeah, so that the other person still feels motivated. Because I feel like motivation is the best part. Like, you should keep the other person motivated and not demotivated and say, oh, the project looks ugly. Which a lot of teachers do in, like, for example, at Polytechnic, a lot of teachers even destroy your project or like really tell you that it's disgusting. They don't know about the sandwich thing, I think.
No.
But it's very important to give the feedback
It is.
and
It
be
is.
part of what you're doing and saying.
And also it's great that you should receive feedbacks not just from the professor but also from students, and the other students should know how to actually give feedbacks as well.
Without resulting too know-it-all and without resulting mean, because a lot of the times students, like your peers, don't know how to communicate it properly. And so then you're like, oh, maybe I'm really bad at it, and then you feel bad. That's not the point of giving feedback, even though I'm gonna quote Donatella Versace here, because they asked her how she reacts to criticism, and she said, I hate it, which is genuinely true from designers. We need feedback, but criticism, it's something that is always hard, and it's hard not to take it personally to you, but it kind of is, because at the end of the day, if I do a project, that's also my
It's
baby.
you. Yeah.
Like, that's me, so you're criticizing me.
It's you.
But if you guys have any other tips for portfolio or even for communication, let us know. We would be interested also in hearing what you guys have to say about this, so that we can start a conversation with you as well. Only positive things.
Only positive, no negative.
No negative, because we're perfect. No, I'm kidding here.
You're not.
But it will be interesting for you even tips. If you have more tips for a portfolio, we're gonna do a post where we kind of share both and put together both our theories that with more clarity. So we hope also this is gonna help people who are building their own portfolios right now.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're done.
I love how Sophie is always like,
I'm ready.
I think we're done now.
I'm starving, so
I'm starving too.
I want to make pasta or something.
But we hope you enjoyed. Let us know and see you next week with a very interesting topic. So see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.